Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing City Folk. Today we're gonna have a bit of just a relaxing day. I've been having a not so great night. Mostly my computer being a pain in the posterior. And yeah, it's left me really frustrated. So honestly, I'm mostly recording right now just as a break from dealing with my computer. To give a brief rundown, I was installing World of Warships on my desktop because I've been playing it on my my new laptop, but I wanted it on my desktop so I'd have a better mouse and keyboard. Because I currently have kind of a hand-me-down-esque mouse for my laptop. The keyboard on it's great, it's just the mouse is not great. And I know my desktop can handle the game. Well, today's Benedict's birthday. We'll have to see if we can find him a present and see if he'll even accept it from us. But, yeah, I was doing that, and I was also figuring, you know what, I'll just launch OBS now, because I kind of want to record once it's done. So I tried to launch OBS. Waited 10 minutes, and OBS had yet to launch. Check Task Manager. My computer was not taxed in the slightest. Like, not even hard drive use was more than 50%. So I got frustrated and tried to open it again because it seemed to have just stalled out in Task Manager and wasn't doing anything. And the second instance of OBS hit the same point and then stopped. And that just made me more frustrated, because I can visibly see my computer isn't taxed. It's just refusing to do what it's supposed to be doing. Like, I don't usually get frustrated with computer issues, but when something like that happens, you almost can't help but be frustrated by it. Because there's clearly something wrong, but the computer is literally programmed not to tell you. Like, that's just a thing with all technology. Like, unless you have specific diagnostic tools, it's not going to tell you what's going wrong. Because, well, let's face it, Microsoft, Apple, if there's any big company that makes Linux machines, them, they really don't want you fixing your own machine. They don't want you knowing what's going wrong with your own machine. Because if you know what's going wrong, you can fix it. And you can fix it without ever giving them any money. The ones that are worst for that is Apple. Apple is actively always trying to shut down third-party repairs. Because, well, it takes money away from Apple. So Apple doesn't like that. They are a greedy company. And that's why I will probably never own an Apple device. As much as I'd love to have a Mac for editing, I'll probably never buy one. Or if I do, I'll buy it secondhand. Like, I'm not gonna buy a first, you know, directly from Apple machine ever. And that's just because I don't like their business practices, so I don't want to support them. But if I'm buying it off of someone else, I'm more just helping that person get away from Apple, hopefully. And I mean, there's a lot of good things Apple does. Like, be one of the best editing platforms. Okay, Benedict is home. The only thing we have on us is the boat, isn't it? Yeah. What does Benedict even like? He likes country-style things. Let's go check Nooks. I'm pretty sure if I remember right, he likes country-style things. This flower bed is already growing to an immense size. But yeah, there are a lot of things Apple has done that are good. But everyone copies the bad things Apple does. Like, well, removing removable batteries. I love my LG because I can take the battery out of it and pop a new battery in if I wanted to. Yeah, I think Benedict would probably like this. But like, if I had the 2 batteries for my LG, I'd probably buy some sort of charging dock for batteries like that, because I know they exist. And just whenever the battery gets close to dying, just pop it out, change it for the freshly charged battery. I mean, that makes more sense to me. That's what I do with, say, when I'm using my Game Boy Color. When the batteries die, I pop in new ones. You know, and if they're rechargeable, I plug the batteries in to recharge them. Hey, Benedict. Make yourself comfortable. That's the thing. Oh. Oh, he doesn't like us enough to accept a present. What is this fish? I think it's a river fish based on the things. Oh, yeah, it's that really big river fish, right. I forget its name, but it's the really big river fish. Well, we have a ranch wardrobe now. So actually that'll probably help in a way. Because now I can do that, and I can probably sell that back and then get another bag of money. But, yeah, I really don't want to just get on a rant about technology that, honestly, I don't even know all that much about. I just know all of the news articles of Apple trying to shut down third-party repairers. Which isn't good, in my opinion. Because if that happens with Apple devices, it's only going to be a matter of time before that happens with regular PCs. And buying aftermarket parts becomes, you know, taboo / illegal / brickable. And then literally building your own PC would become impossible. Because you wouldn't be allowed to buy the aftermarket parts to build your own PC. Though at the same time, that would open up new avenues for companies to sell parts that are first party, and we'd get away from the 2 giants. So in a way, it might end up being a good thing, so long as no laws are put in place. Though even then, you just get like a company like Dell just going, no, look, we're selling our own first party parts directly to the consumers. You know, that would be the best course of action. That would actually make a company a lot of money. China's Xiaomi stores should start branching out and then doing just that. That would actually be pretty neat. Xiaomi is basically the Apple of China. They're very influenced by Apple's aesthetic design. So I imagine it would catch on very well outside of China. But they're so far just Chinese, as far as I know. They should really branch out, though. Well, let's sell this wardrobe. And the potato tail. Get another bag of money. 'Cause gotta love bags of money. Need more money. Red candy. That'll just go into another letter. All of our letters are now full. I'm trying to think of something else to talk about. You know, I've been staring at it these past few days. I need to mention it. StarCraft 64 is probably one of the best console RTS ports ever. And I say this as someone who has played and loves the PC version as well, and has also played and loves Command & Conquer. And I actually first played Command & Conquer on the original PlayStation. Like, that's where I originally played it. I then moved on to play Tourbillon Sun on PC, and then back to console for Red Alert 3, and then I bought the Legacy Pack, and then yeah, my Origin account got hacked and I didn't get notified of it, and everything on there is gone, and they won't help me. Because they sent me an email. They didn't send me an email. Either that or my spam, or either that or it went directly into my spam folder and got automatically deleted. So yeah. But yeah, I've played a lot of the Command & Conquers, but like, StarCraft 64 does some things incredibly well, to the point where I honestly wish that Blizzard would implement some of the changes they made for it into the actual game of Brood Wars. Like, when you build a worker, it goes directly to the closest mineral patch, like it does in StarCraft 2. And that right there would open up Brood War to be played by so many more people. Or at least have that be like an option, that you could turn that on for like certain games. That way the purists could still have it the way they want it, and it could be made more user-friendly. Another thing they did for StarCraft 64 was increased the limit of troops you can command from 12 to 18. Small change, but a good change, because it makes fielding larger groups more possible. I mean, that's kind of why in 2 you have limitless unit command capacity. Because in the first game, most battles are who can micro their groups of 12 the best. Which, albeit, does create a decent skill gap between the player base. You don't really get bad players lucking into playing against good ones. But it honestly prevents a lot of people from ever getting to even moderate status. Because of, well, managing groups of 12 is honestly a lot harder than microing in a single unit. Now, like, what do I mean by that? What I mean, basically, is, say you have 2 groups of 12 units. Let's just use actual StarCraft units. Oh, this looks like a new thing. More ale. Actually, no, I think we already have one of those. Like, let's say you've got a group of 12, Devourers and Guardians. So 12 of each. That's actually most of the unit cap. But still, let's assume you have 12 Devourers, 12 Guardians. You've got to manage those 2 groups of units now to effectively fight. While in the second game, you have, I think they're still called Devourers, or the Zerg anti-air, and 12 Broodlords, so you have 24 units in total. You can move them as one uniform group. You don't really need to care much other than where you're attack moving them. I'm gonna check and see if we have this more AO. So, like, if you tell them to just attack move to the enemy base, yeah, your anti-air is going to get there first, it'll probably die, but in an actual fight, you're going to tell them to attack move to about where they are anyway. The anti-air isn't moving anywhere. Meanwhile, your Broodlords are going to attack, and usually you'll actually be manually telling them what to attack as a group. Because, well, the faster you can alpha things out of existence... Okay, yeah, we have already donated a more ale. The faster you can just alpha things out of existence, the better. But in the first game, you can't really be managing your anti-air and your guardians at the same time. Because, well, you can't command all of them. Now, it becomes easier when you can grab 8 of each to make a group of 16. Or was it 18? I think it was 18, actually. Yeah, it was 18. So you grab 9 of each to make a group of 18. Now you can manage a small battle group of 9 Devourers, 9 Guardians. That now falls under the same sort of principle that you're using for the second game's combat. And it just works. There's no hassle. It just works better. Now, I know that was mostly done because it is very, very difficult to micro an army on the N64. Because you really don't have that same fine control. But still, it would be a nice change, and it wouldn't change things up that much. Going from 12 to 18 units in your control. Like, that wouldn't affect things too much. A good player is still going to be good. And once again, that could just be a toggleable option when setting up your game. What did I come back in here to do? Right, I was gonna display the model boat. Whoop, no, get off the sofa. Let's pick up this. Is it the same thing? Oh no, it isn't. Oh, there's no room for it there. Okay. So it can't sit on a table. Let's just throw it down, like, right here, then. Oh, I like that. That's a flute ship. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love this model boat. You. Go away. It's gonna sit by the other boat, which is actually of Chinese design, I believe. Based on the sails. I would guess it's Chinese, or at least Asian. Because, these are more westernized sails. No, that actually looks Japanese. I can't move the camera from sitting down. Yeah, it's definitely Japanese, based on the shape. Because they were slightly more western shaped, but with Asian sails. So... I know probably way too much about old boats. I really wish there was an a game with older ships that's like World of Warships. There was for a while, and I forget what its name was, but they basically shut down because the support for the engine they were using stopped. So they were going to move it to a new engine, and it basically just became too expensive, and they had to shut it all down. Which really sucks. Because it was really fun. But it had to get shut down. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. So I'd like to remind everyone I do have a Patreon. Should you wish to donate to me, you can. If you don't want to or can't, that's perfectly fine. With that, I thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time for more Animal Crossing City Folk. See you all then.